Have we tested your dad's?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes. All right. Give me a thumbs up. Are we recording? Oh, okay. Good evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on when and where you are watching this. Welcome back to another week of Into the Rime of the Frost Maiden. To recap our adventures last week, the party returned the shipment of ore of ingots to the black iron blades, and then they proceeded to head north because on their way back they intercepted a beeping noise from a tracking device that 17 has to track down a psi crystal, which they've tracked to a mine up north of the town. I gotta remember how to pronounce this line. Tourmaline, just to the north. Wolfric is playing a little catch up here. You, Wolfric, were sent to the group's campsite and told that you could find tracks that would lead you to the group. Upon getting to the destination that you were given, you do find what looks to be a day-old campsite. Looking around, you see a bunch of trees with the 17 carved into them, and tracks that lead northwest. Following the tracks, you actually pass the town of Tourmaline on your left, and continue north to where you find a mine. Outside the mine is a sign that says kobolds only. When you proceed to follow the tracks into the mine, you come down. Does everybody have the map in front of them? Who is missing it? You come into this north passage. Racks holding picks and hammers are nailed to the walls of the small cavern. The floor is covered in rust and tracks. And as you listen, you can hear the faint sound of your party down this far passage. As you followed it, you made it to the processing room, which has benches and tables are set as workspaces where miners clear any gemstones they find. Gravel and pebbles are strewn on the ground. Scattered across the floor are a few hammers, picks, and broken lanterns. Following the voices, you make it all the way down here. Ignore the fact that your party's on the map because they actually have moved on to the next level. I believe we ended with everybody down.
Yes.
Yeah, we were in a tunnel, and I think we had just figured out that the south tunnel was the one that the clicking was louder.
Yes. So as you get closer, the sounds are getting clear, and as you let me move these party members out of the way, you can clearly hear. As you enter this room, you see ropes actually moving, and you hear clear voices down the hole.
Hello,
Jeez! Wolfric, not so loud. We're on a.
I don't know how to be any other way.
We're on a stealth mission, I think. I don't know. We're in the middle of a kobold mine. Where have you been?
I was on a mission to take the rescued polar bears back to my clan to be healed and resettled back into the wild.
We've been following this. Well, actually, listen. Why don't you come down here and we don't have to shout?
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm gonna go. Is this a mine shaft here?
Yes, in the center of the room, you'll see a pulley system, and up comes a bucket that is big enough for you to fit in.
Oh, first I'm going to inspect it to make sure that the pulley system is strong enough to carry me, all 290 pounds of me.
Looking over this pulley system, it definitely looks like it can carry you. It's designed to carry
Right.
both people and ore. So it's designed
Alright.
to take a lot of weight.
So I will get in the bucket and say, lower me down!
It's self-operated.
Oh,
There's
well then I'll
there's a
just...
little crank. There are cranks on each end too, but there is a crank in it.
So I'm going to get in there and lower myself down.
And then we need a new map when we get a
Yep,
chance.
I'm moving everybody to it.
To the new map. On the map, on the map. We're all getting deleted. No.
It must feel like inside a bag of holding.
It's dark in here.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, there we are.
So the mechanism creaks as the bucket lifts, descends to the floor of a small cave where two dusty tunnels lead in opposite directions.
I'm trying to assume that the one that I'm pointing at is south.
Yes.
Okay, that was the direction that the clicking was louder, if I remember correctly, and that was the direction we were headed.
Yes.
Right now, Wolfreak, we have been following this, and I'll point to the little brick that 17's got in her hand. And do you know what a kobold is?
I do know what a kobold is.
Oh.
The question is, did you stop in the town of Tourmaline?
No.
Because my clan chief has asked our party to come to this mine and reclaim it from the kobolds on behest of the town of Tourmaline.
Oh.
I was on my way to Tourmaline to talk to the town master, Oris Mastu, but I found you instead. I guess we'll clean it out first.
Why do they want their mine back?
Well, it's their mine. Why wouldn't they want it back?
Did the kobolds steal it from them?
I don't know. All I know is that...
We're informed that the kobolds took the mine from them.
Yes. The kobolds took the mine from the town, and the town wants it back.
Does anybody else know anything about these kobolds? Like, what are they? We haven't even seen one yet.
Would the clan chief have told me what they are?
I can explain what they are because I got my roll correct last time, right?
Yeah, and I would honestly say anybody who feels their character would know what a kobold is. Like, kobolds are common enough creatures. I'm not going to make you roll for it. So if you want the decision, I will leave that up to you as whether your character knows what a kobold is. I feel they're common enough that if you feel your characters come across them, you can know what a kobold is.
On this world, maybe.
So, again, Toshiro will be all, like, looking around the group, like, waiting for somebody to explain what a kobold is.
Well, they're the size of goblins, but they're tiny little dragon folk without wings.
Are they
magic
evil?
abilities. Well, yes, as a matter. I don't know if you'd call them evil, it's just greedy.
Greed is not honorable.
They have the greed of a dragon, but nothing to back it up.
I know of dragons. Are there different colored kobolds?
I've only seen red here. So, but I don't know.
Okay.
I do know they worship dragons.
What were you saying, Braylon?
I don't know that answer. Like, in real life, I don't know that answer.
Okay.
So.
I don't know that answer either. As a DM, are there actually... I think red.
Peyton, I'm going to answer this question the best way I possibly can. Look. Are there in your world? You tell me.
And I'm thinking more of in the world of Faerun. Is it typical that kobolds come in different colors? Sure. Kobolds can come in. I don't see why not.
There you go. Okay, we have an answer. So we're all sitting there
None of you
trying to
have seen
picture.
anything other than a red kobold.
Yeah, I'm picturing a white, a blue, a black, and a green kobold, like one for each chromatic color of dragons that I would know about as a character. I'm trying to figure out these creatures that my guy's never seen and trying to put two and two together.
It's possible. Nobody's
Okay.
ever seen other than red, I'll say. But that doesn't mean they don't exist.
All right, well,
I wasn't sure if there actually was stats for other types of kobolds. So that's why.
I'm trying to learn. I don't know. My character doesn't know. So,
Okay, well, I'm going to say there are.
all right.
For this.
So, do we continue with the stealth mission to get to the Psi Crystal and then wipe them out on our way out? Or do we wipe them out on the way down?
I guess if we run into them, we can wipe them out as we go.
That is a really cool trinket that you have there, Wolfgar. It looks like a miniature dragon. Thank you for digging that out of your pack.
I carry it around.
Good luck charm, I take it.
This is actually the mini from the Rime of the Frost Maiden for the Kobold Miners.
Nice. Sweet. Alright. We're going where you go, 17.
You have a path to your north. The beeping does. Okay, as you travel.
Let me take the lead,
Or
please.
is it that one?
I think this one is a dead end here. Doesn't seem to open up anywhere. Is there anything back here in this dead end?
Looking through there, it looks just like a dead end. Looking at the wall, it looks like this area has been started to mine. You can see like some stones on the ground. You can see some like gems like barely into the wall.
Okay.
That, if you took some time to mine, you could. But
All right. I want to come down here to the end of the tunnel and then do another like.
are you moving stealthily?
Yes, I'll move stealthily.
Please roll a stealth. Okay.
Good job.
And give me a perception check as well.
Oh.
Looking into this room, you sneak up unseen. And when you peer into the room, you see a table and chairs are set in this area to create space for miners to take breaks. On top of the tables, two kobolds are poking a giant rat with their javelins to make sure it's dead.
Looks like dinner time. Want to back out towards the group.
Okay. Roll another stealth to.
Oh. I kicked the rock, didn't I, as I turned around?
As you go to turn around, you turn around and you kick a rock and it goes into the room.
Freeze! Just like where I am.
The kobolds look up and then look back down.
All right. Looking out for that rock that I just kicked. I'll move a little bit around it.
Okay. Ooh, now you're on guard. Okay, I don't think they saw me, and you clearly make sure you pick your feet up and don't drag them across the ground as you tiptoe around, and you can make it back to the group.
I'll let the group know that it looks like it's a lunchroom up ahead with two kobolds about to eat some giant rat. We could ignore them, or we could probably kill them very fast.
Well, we were tasked to take care of them. So
Sentinel,
Violence is always an option.
Sentinel, do you agree?
If this place belongs to the town, then we should get it back to them.
Braylon, you have no problem with this?
Not at all.
Well, let's earn some training, shall we? I want to stealth back down to the end of the hallway, and I would be a motion to 17 to follow second, and Braylon to follow third. Well, actually, me and Wolfgar are going to sneak down. Two
Well-
fighters.
What natural light is in the room?
Oh, yeah, you're blind, aren't you?
Can't see.
Yes.
There is no let me double
17?
check. I'm pretty sure there is no.
Yes.
See in the dark?
Yes.
hold on.
Okay. Down the hallway.
But what about the kobolds?
What about the coin that Sentinel has? Can he give that to another person?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think Sentinel needs it just as much as Wolfgar needs it.
Mm.
Um,
Well, if that's as big as the room is, it'll probably light it all up.
Okay, Wolfgar, put your hand on my back and close your eyes.
Okay.
Wolfric. Give him the coin. Put it in the palm of your hand so that you cover the light.
Yep.
And then I'll lead you down the hallway. So we'll probably need to roll a stealth. I don't know.
I'll cast
Disadvantage-
guidance on Wolfric.
Okay. He's got his hand on my back, and I'm going to try to, slowly lead him down the hallway in the dark.
okay.
Actually, I'll go ahead and do emboldening bond on both of you.
Okay.
So that's 1d4 to anything once per round.
For, 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we need to roll stealth again?
Yeah. I need a group stealth if you.
So me
plan
and
to-
Wolfric. Wolfric, you get to roll a d20. Unfortunately, you are blind, so yours is at disadvantage, but because I'm helping, it's a regular roll, please, Tayden.
Sure.
And if you want to
Alright,
roll a d4, you can roll a d4.
Who's next after Wolfric?
17 looks like she's coming.
And then I am next after that.
I don't think we're going to need you guys, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we still want to stay together.
Yeah, it's true.
What is up with my audio?
So, are we at the end of the hallway?
I'm around the corner anyways, so.
Ooh, those are cool tokens.
Let's see. 6. Okay. You sneak up to the room again, unannounced.
Okay. If Wolfric's right behind me, I want to whisper to Wolfric, right in his ear. Would that be okay? Do I need to check for that? Or
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Alright. I'm going to whisper to you, Wolfric. I'm going to be all as soon as I let go, open your hand, drop the coin. Do you have your axe in one hand?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
I just open the hand, grab the axe, and charge in after me. I'll go for the one that's furthest away. Or do you want to take the one that's furthest away since you move faster than I do?
I do move faster. I'll take him.
Yeah. Okay. And then we're just I'm gonna pat his hand and just take off towards that closest kobold and my katana.
Okay. I want you to give me a dexterity check.
Okay, I can do a dexterity check, I think. Just grab my dexterity and drop it into chat. Ooh. Ow.
Unfortunately,
Wait a minute. I get a d4. Wait a minute. I rolled an 8. Hold on. Why won't my D4 roll? Something wrong with...
Try it again.
I rolled an 8, and then with a D4, I keep rolling a 2, but like I'm letting it go in the chat block, and it's not.
There we go. It's probably what it is, but so unfortunately, as you let go, he lets go of the coin. It lets in the light, and you can't react fast enough to get in a hit
Okay.
before they notice you, so you won't get a surprise hit in.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll initiative.
So I'm at a 13.
Oh, I get a roll of 4, right?
Yep.
Y'all can, y'all can technically add a D4 to this, yeah.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
that.
That didn't help much.
Didn't help me much either, but it's a D4. Might as well take it, right?
Yep. Point to point.
13. All right. So top of the round, Braylon would be up. But unfortunately, I mean, Braylon could squeeze past, but it's going to use pretty much all his movement. 10, 20, 30. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to squeeze past.
I think I'm just gonna skip my turn.
Tushiro.
All right. Any advantage on the attack or just regular?
Regular. That hits.
Cool.
Peyton, did you program my new axe?
I have not.
Okay.
I just want to end. Well, no, I'll stay right there. That's fine.
I will on our break. It won't really make a difference right at the moment.
No.
So if it does, I'll 8 points of damage.
Yep.
This kobold sees his life flash before his eyes and pulls it back together.
So I didn't cut quite deep enough with my katana. It's like nearly headless.
Yep. He's got a big gash, and he's
Nearly headless Grek. That's his name.
Sentinel.
Let's see. We'll just move right here.
Oh, are you doing anything else on your turn?
Mm-mm.
We are 17.
We are going to cast Mage Armor on ourselves. That's it.
All right. That leaves Greg, who is very badly wounded. Does anybody speak Draconic?
What about me? I didn't get to move.
You're not.
You're next after Greg.
Oh, okay. I just that left, Greg.
Where
All right.
are your languages? Nope.
Under abilities.
Nope, I do not speak Draconic.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
All right. Well, then you won't understand what this guy says. But you can vaguely make out a scream of terror, and he's going to take the disengage and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
Why do they always run?
Wolfric.
I'll point down the hallway as an interaction.
So you see Wolfric pull this giant sword off his back and yell, "Give me an axe!" And the sword turns into a great axe. And then he charges at the one right here. And takes a swing.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. Hold on. Actions. No, yeah.
Nice.
In one fell swoop from shoulder to hip, he's cut in two. Braylon.
I mean, there's nothing really for me to do way back here. I guess I'm just gonna pull up the rear, just walk behind 17, and then I'm just gonna keep an eye out. And if I see any movement behind me, I'll cast. I'll have what's it called? Thorn Whip ready as a prepared counter or whatever that's called.
All right. Kishiro.
Took off down this way.
It took off down that way.
For some reason, I can't see this way.
You can't see?
Nope.
If I click on your token, it shows that you have visibility.
Well, I just get a little sliver.
Oh, do you have your character selected?
No, I don't think so. I got my token selected. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like our tokens, whenever we're selecting them, they're not letting us see from our token.
Yeah, those two tokens are different too.
Oh,
me.
did you put our actual token on the map, Slit?
I
What about the green
one.
ones?
Yeah, I mean, there's a token from the combat tracker, which is
Yeah, see, when Wolfric moved, the map was revealing.
Yep.
But
Yep.
when I'm moving, the
Yep.
map's not revealing. Like,
Yeah,
move
can
my
you
token.
delete our tokens and re-put them?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the one fixed.
So I know
really
Yeah.
I'm having some problem.
Okay, that's working better. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Just again with the katana at him.
okay.
Trying to finish what I started. Hang on, I get a D4. 16.
That hits. He's dead. Your
Okay,
modifier.
just
So
up his back and take
everybody's token working better now.
No, I can't. Okay, there we go. Yes, now that I clicked on my token again.
Yep, we're good.
He was running this way. Like, I want to.
Yeah, he was running up the.
Yeah, I want to listen to see if I can hear where like he was. Maybe more of them that way,
Roll a perception check.
and tell whether or not they're coming. Oh, that's not the right. That's the right one. See, I'm just gonna start dropping it into the freaking bucket because apparently, like,
12.
wait. There.
So 15. You listen. You don't hear anything.
Okay. I'll head back to the group. I'm not sure where he was going.
You're outside of combat, so you guys can move your characters as you.
Sentinel will pick the coin back up. Just hold it aloft.
How's
17 as you move into this room, noise gets quieter. Or sorry, slower, not quieter.
Okay, so we're gonna just go back here a little bit.
following?
Right when you get about midway through this hallway is when it gets its fastest, and you pass the midway, slows back down just a little bit.
Check the midway of the hallway to see if there's any like
passages.
or
Roll a perception check. You feel like you're touching this wall up and down. You're pretty confident that there's no secret passage. You even turn around and do the wall to the north, the same thing. You're confident that there's no secret passage.
I'm not sure what that could mean.
Did anyone grab a mining axe back there?
A pickaxe?
Yes.
Don't think so.
Nope.
Oh wait, I have a miner's pick. Yeah.
It might be in the wall.
Like,
do you know which wall?
Like, grab grab 17's arm, or reach for 17's arms, and then like start moving it along the wall and like along the floor, and see if it starts getting louder.
I roll a perception check.
Okay.
Remember, the distance you're moving isn't far, so I gotta see if you can perceive the. It takes you a couple tries, but as like you like are going against the wall, swooping down to the ground, you notice that as you get it down, like and like rub it on the ground, it like just barely gets faster.
Like, just in the middle of the hallway, does it seem to be in a certain spot? Like, we should dig in that spot?
Roll an insight.
Okay.
You would think maybe instead of digging that maybe there's more levels to this mine.
So it's below us.
I believe it's below us, 17. I don't think that one of those is going to help right now. I think we need to find our way deeper into this mine. We did see that there was another platform further down.
Well, okay, if that's what you think.
Well, it's not here. I don't think digging at the ground is going to find it.
We're not convinced. We're kind of looking at you funny, but we're gonna go along with it.
Okay. Does anybody want to try to dig through the floor? Look around the group.
I don't think that would be time effective. It might take a while to dig a hole through the floor.
Okay.
If we go maybe toward where the kobolds were going, maybe they'll lead us further down.
Is that a dead end there, Peyton?
Nope. As you travel down, you see that it starts to slope down.
Oh, nice.
Pull up the appropriate map.
Come on, Sentinel.
I'll be in the back.
Lead you through the darkness.
Oh, he's got the light coin.
Yeah, I cup it so it's only bleeding through my fingers a little bit.
So you got about 20 feet of bright light, or dim light, essentially, right?
Yeah. That way I stay around corners and it don't affect y'all up there.
At this intersection, can we do a real quick, like, check to see which way more tracks go?
There's only one way down.
Oh.
All of the other ones are dead ends.
Okay.
So the only one that goes down is the one up here.
Okay.
Those are
all right. It looked to the way the map was shaped. It looked like that other passage might have also gone down. That one there, but I get it. Oh, there it is. Ah, and I'm gone. It like literally like showed me like the tunnel down, and then my token just like vanished from the. Oh no! Oh, we're clearly down here. Okay. smokes. Are you kidding me? Does
What?
that rope look like it goes across there?
Yep.
Yes. Looking at the rope, let me turn that off. You can move your token now freely.
Okay.
Looking at that rope,
Uh-huh.
does appear that there is a bucket.
Stand there
That
for a sec. Shouldn't try to look down each tunnel, but go ahead with your description.
you do see a bucket up that goes across. It does look like it's big enough to fit a single medium-sized creature at a time.
Okay.
You do see on your end there is a crank,
Hmm.
along with on the opposite end there's a crank to move the bucket along.
Is it equal elevation with us? Slightly higher, slightly lower?
It is equal elevation. But now that you're down below, looking across, you look up at the platform you were underneath. Not underneath, that was up above, that you walked across earlier on the first level,
Hmm.
and below it, you see two kobolds, and they appear to be sawing at the support beams
Of the one above us?
of the one that's above and across from you.
The crossbow comes out, and I will just be all they're cutting the supports out. We need to move. Fire and go across the thing to the far side here. I want to get back in this cave over here, but my token will not go in that cave.
This one.
Yeah, right there.
Okay,
How
so we're gonna roll initiative.
Dun, 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 dun.
You'll get a surprise round off on them.
I was how high is it above us? The next floor up.
30 feet.
Okay.
It's 30 feet up and then 5, 10, 15, 20 feet across. What did I get here?
Why didn't it roll initiative?
Initiative.
Oh my goodness. I have a 26 initiative. I rolled a natural 20 on initiative.
As did Wolfric.
Wow. Now I don't have
So
a
ready.
yeah, I don't really have a token unless you're gonna put a token on this map for me to drop the dice on. But
Oh yeah, I am. Give me a second. I gotta...
no worries.
We still. How long do we get the plus the D4?
10
10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Is that still going?
at the moment.
Oh, so I'm at a 25
Nice.
initiative.
All right, Chishiro, you got a surprise round off on him. Go ahead and fire that crossbow bolt.
What am I firing it at? I don't have a token.
I have him on the combat tracker, but I didn't put him on the.
So this is at advantage, correctly?
Yes, because they didn't see you.
All right. I'm gonna shoot that one right there. Imagine that that's going to hit.
That does.
Skaplow!
You see the body go falling down the hole.
Slap a crossbow bolt into the thing and take a position there.
You're up. You're at the top of the. Wait, no, I gotta adjust. What's your initiative, Wolfric?
25.
I'm a 26.
25. Wolfric. Oh, and you're at 26, I think. Never mind. Tushiro, you're up.
Second one. Ow! Ah. drop on the Icewind. It's not letting me drop it on the Icewind kobold. That's so weird.
That hits.
Okay. Wouldn't let me drop it on the kobold for some reason.
It's probably because it's in the wall a little bit.
Shkaplak.
5. It takes an arrow through the shoulder. And like you see it fight to like maintain control of holding on. Wolfric.
I'm going to move up to here. I'm going to stow the axe, pull out a javelin, and I'm going to throw a javelin at it. Let's see.
Javelin's a 30-foot range, if I remember correctly, for normal, so it's a disadvantage throw.
Ah,
Me, you can't see anyways.
Yeah, you can't.
But you get a D4.
oh yeah.
14.
14. You're fumbling in the dark, wildly throw this javelin out there, and just barely strike it.
You just listened for where my crossbow hit, right,
Yep.
Wolfric?
Yes.
Yeah, this kobold goes falling. You don't even hear a thud.
Oh,
Well-
nice.
Well, I guess I'm not going to get that javelin back.
Yup. That one's gone, pal. Nice.
But like Yushiro, as you ran right there
Yeah.
and you turn around, you see 3 more kobolds.
Down the passageway?
Wait!
They say that in common?
One of them says it in common.
Okay.
I will allow us to be outside of combat for the rest of the party. Like, if you want to, like, call them over.
Okay.
If you're not going to attack, we can go outside of combat.
I am going. That decision has to be made on what's going on around me. Can I tell whether or not there are kobolds underneath the platform that my party has to cross?
Um,
Because I may not have
You would
time to talk.
you would have to, like, peek out underneath it.
Okay, I'll like hold my finger up to the new kobolds and like slowly kneel down and like keep looking at the kobolds, like start to kind of and then peek underneath the thing and kind of like come back real quick.
There's no kobolds.
Okay. Then I'll lean out towards Wolfric, but I'll like motion and kind of like do one of these numbers. Well, I realize now that he's blind, so I'll be all like, there are more. These ones may not mean us harm.
The
We
rest
may-
of the party, you guys can move.
We may be able to convince them to leave.
Hold on, let me drop them on the map here.
Does it look like younger kobolds? Does it look like...
Hold on one sec.
Okay. Tashiro might have a problem killing kobold kids.
I won't.
Yeah.
I won't.
No one's killing kids.
Roast them over an open fire.
They're little dragons.
That's not little.
They're little.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna put you back here before you move closer. Looking at the one that spoke, you notice that he has like a pair of fake wings on his back.
Ha.
Lurking in this dusty tunnel are 3 kobolds. One of them carries a threadbare satchel and wears a fake pair of dragon wings made of thin wood and tattered white cloth. He literally in his hands raises up. Please, please, don't harm us. We mean you no harm.
Insight.
I roll an insight.
Is he lying to me? Whew. Hold on. I'm gonna get that D4 in there just in case.
Uh, he's not lying to you, but there's also you can tell information being withheld.
Okay. I'll take a step forward. Just
Please, the everlasting winter has made the wilderness unsafe for our kind, and the cold dulls our wits. Please, we only want a place to stay so we can keep warm and out of this horrible weather. We can work and we won't cause trouble. Tourmaline would be richer for having our help. We we didn't mean to drive them out. We They got scared by our presence and ran.
what do the other two kobolds with it look like? Do they look
Um,
normal or do they look
they
more
look
like
like the other ones you've seen.
okay? Any sort of like yeah, what do they do with that?
It kind of like it's not bright enough that it affects their sunlight sensitivity,
Okay.
but it kind of sheer away, to let their eyes adjust for a second.
Um,
I'm going
What
with
was
the
that?
katana straight across the neck.
Murder hobo.
Um,
No?
Hold on. Okay, I also got 17.
Okay.
17. It does appear that you need to go across.
Okay. Does this look sturdy?
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna get in the bucket and start going across. It's this way, guys.
with the kobold there, can I hear the conversation all the way from like over here?
Yeah, you don't want to go any closer.
I don't know how much room is here. I can't
Yeah.
really see with my
Hold on.
character.
It's like that much room.
Seeing the kobold, I want to ask, what's up with the fake wings?
Chishira, as you go to draw it, you hear Braylon start to ask this question. Are you going to continue your motion, or are you going to let it answer?
I'll let it answer.
We worship the dragons and we wish to someday be one, but our kind is long descended from them, but we are not really them anymore.
All right, then can you answer the question of why your people were trying to cut the entrance, or the
Well,
the wood to the
after
entrance to block us from being able to leave?
the would after they got scared away, we figured they would come back to hurt us. So we're just trying to make it so they couldn't get to us, so we'd be safe.
So they would sacrifice you for their own safety?
Tell the truth. Well, the no, no, the people of the town. We were worried that they would come back to kill us, to get rid of us, and not give us the chance to explain ourselves.
Wolfgar, what agreement did you make with the town about the mine? They wanted it cleaned out. You agreed.
That's correct. They wanted it cleaned out. But no, they wanted to reclaim the mine.
You need to move out.
Tushiro, you also see this the one that's speaking, the satchel he has, he holds it very tightly.
I want to try to move my katana down towards the satchel. Like, lean forward just a little bit.
He'll like kind of like wrap his arms around it and like.
Does the satchel move?
No, like other than like the motion of him moving
Okay.
it doesn't move.
I want to use the edge of my katana and slice it open.
Give me a competing acrobatics check to see if you can.
Okay. Oh! Karma is such a bitch. That's a 10.
You know, even with a 10, he goes to pull it away. You cut that thing open, and as you do, you hear a ghostly scream as a ghost appears, like out from the kobold, and then vanishes.
What's with you and unleashing ghosts on our party?
And as soon as that happens, you see the demeanor of the kobold change. Not aggressive, but like I mean like skitterish. It like becomes like skitterish and scared and like backs away from you.
What did you just do?
I move forward.
I have absolutely no idea.
What was that thing?
That was a ghost like possessed you. Where's 17?
And Sentinel.
And Sentinel.
17, the beeping comes really loud now. Like I mean sorry, really fast as you approach this southern cavern.
Okay. Well, Sentinel's here with me, so I'll have him hold on to our back and
As you enter the room, looking around and following the pacing of this thing, it points you towards the east wall, where you see a fossilized skull partially juts out of the wall.
over here.
5 feet off the ground, off the east wall, 5 feet off the ground. The skull has larger than normal eye sockets, a curious ridge between the eyes, and nothing that would pass for a nose. 4 small holes where would you expect to see teeth. Roll a intelligence. Give me an intelligence check.
I will guide you.
Having been around mind flares, these are different than the ones you've been around, but you can surmise that it's probably the skull of a mind flare.
Oh. Does it look like we can take it out of the wall? Oh God,
You look
she's
like
reading.
you might be able to like get it out of there.
Okay. We're gonna turn back to Sentinel. We think we might be able to get it out of there. Should we?
If this is what the device is pointing to.
Okay, so we are going to reach up and try to take it.
As you pull it out of the wall, it like starts to crack and crumble and shatters. And inside, you find the crystal.
So, being the excitable creature that we are going to run past Sentinel right out here and yell, "We got it! We got it!" Just yell it.
Okay.
Goonie style.
Yes.
Do we hear her over the crashing waves that happen to be falling in that particular tunnel?
Yeah, she's screaming. You can barely like make out like in the middle of your guys' conversation. We got it. We got it.
I'm gonna look at Wolfric right in the dead in the eye, shrug, and then whoo with the katana.
Rolled a hit on poor Trex.
I suspect that he's not expecting this.
He's not, but at the same time, like he's aware of your presence, so it's not surprise.
Plus, isn't he kind of on edge?
Yeah, you've been rather hostile.
This is going really weird.
And it gets weirder.
Wow, that's a
You go to
3.
swing it because they're so short. You go right over his head.
Shit.
Roll initiative.
Oh, good golly.
That's exactly what Toshiro says too. He's like, shit.
That's 10 minutes past for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say at this point,
Okay.
10 minutes has passed.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Also, there's no light over there right now because I'm over here. Well, you might have dim light, but that depends on the cavern.
No, there's no light in here. Braylon, you're up first.
All
Steer
right.
shit from down the hallway, and my katana hit the wall. Tink.
Well, I see you.
Oh.
I can see in the dark.
Oh.
Can see in the dark.
I'm going to speak out to Shiro and say I don't think that violence in this case is necessarily warranted. Therefore, if you intend to attack them, I'm not going to help you kill these creatures.
Are you gonna respond at all to Shiro?
It's not my turn yet, but Toshiro will just, from the wall where his katana is, he'll shunk.
It's the next kobold's turn. Seeing that you put it away, it's going to stand there and like kind of like not sure what it should do. It is your turn, Chishiro.
I'm going to kind of put my hands on Wolfric a little bit, push him up against the wall, and just walk out of the tunnel with the 2 kobolds towards where 17 is. Are we going to leave now? Or are we going to try to clean out these caves? I'm just going to look at Braylon.
I honestly think they want these caves, right? And the townspeople are afraid of them.
The town wants their mine back.
Right. So, what if we just... I assume, and I'm going to yell loud enough for that one guy, the one that was speaking with the wings, I'm going to yell, are you the leader of your kobolds? Trex or
None of
whatever.
you speak Draconic?
Huh?
Nobody speaks Draconic correctly?
No.
No.
The only reason I
It's
can
gonna-
understand this is because of the ghost.
Yep, it's gonna say something back in Draconic.
Crap. I didn't realize the ghost was giving it the ability to speak. Because I was gonna say we could go and try to speak with the townspeople and try to set up a thing, but I don't know. I just don't feel right killing them.
I fully support this, but 1 moment ago everyone was talking about killing children.
What?
That was out of
Wolfreak
character.
said that
Yeah.
he wouldn't have a problem with it, and Braylon said he wouldn't have a problem with it. So
But they're not children.
no, they're not. They're
Are-
apparently somewhat evil creatures who are currently inhabiting a mine in which we took on an agreement to potentially return to the town.
Apparently
breaking our
Wolfric
word.
took on that agreement.
Peyton, can I speak with animals and speak to them?
Nope. They're not an animal.
They're not a mineral. They're not a vegetable.
I didn't know it was in the bag. I didn't know it was going to make it so we couldn't communicate to him. I thought it was an intellect devour in a bag.
Is there any way that I can go up to whatever item that once possessed the ghost and examine it?
You can go up to it. Inspecting the item. Give me a Arcana. Okay. Inside, you find some clumps of moss, some lichen, some shrubbery gathered from different foothills. None of it looks to be valuable. But with your knowledge of magic, you can kind of ascertain that um, this item was the last thing holding this ghost, tethering it to this world.
Alright, well, there's no way to repair this thing, so...
We are holding this crystal. I can't remember last session. Did we learn what else they do?
You'll learn that if you attune to a side crystal, you can gain telepathic powers that the strength of the telepathy is based on your how smart you are.
Would telepathy allow you to speak with things that you don't know the language?
Depends.
We
And that's the actual thing. There's different forms of telepathy, and with your Arcana roll, I would, being a magic caster, you would know that there are different types of telepathy. Some would allow you to bypass languages, some would not.
we are going to start attuning to it.
Okay, attunement takes 1 hour.
Yep.
I'm going to point my axe at the leader and point out and yell, "Get out now!" in a very angry voice. They might not understand it, but I think they can kind of get the picture of what I'm...
Roll roll an intimidation at disadvantage because
Oh, yeah.
they don't actually. Once again, you're downstairs. They don't respond. Give me a sec. I gotta grab the other book to find out exactly whether this telepathy is gonna work that way. Give me 1 second.
Is there a book in here?
No, it's in the dining room.
All right. Let me make a quick break.
Telepathy is a good idea, though. Maybe.
We're just kind of standing here while the people up front try to work through things, so we figured we'd utilize the time.
Don't you have some type of thought thing, Blair?
Have what?
Like some type of thought, reading people's thoughts or something?
Yeah, he can glean surface thoughts. He's a doppelganger.
Oh, well, okay. Now I know for sure. I had my guesses, but okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That was so perfect. Like,
Wow.
I made slick last week because I was watching a podcast and be like, "Is doppelgangers a thing in 5e?" And so it's pointing me toward it.
So yes, I am one.
Okay.
introduction.
Yeah, that's another reason why I was asking about telepathy. I don't know if
Are they harassing you a lot?
No.
Good.
No, not really. I'm being super mamo.
Of course, you're always Super Momo. Occasionally, I'll get a little face in the window up there, and then some kid will ask me a thing, and then I'll have to be like, "What?"
Okay. It is going to take some time to tune. So while the attunement is going on, Braylon, are you going to attempt your
Yeah.
ability?
yes.
Okay. You can't make out any language using your ability, but you can make out, I want to say, images and feelings. And you don't get any sense of danger from the server. They're scared, and you can sense that they are just looking for a safe place to be. But unfortunately, your ability without understanding a language, you don't technically communicate with them. You just read their surface thoughts. So you just pick up the surface feelings. We'll say in this case.
I'm just gonna walk up and just push past them and explore the rest of this area.
Other than the kobolds here, this area seems to be empty.
Just want to see if there's any more of them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, without them being able to understand what I'm saying, it's not like I can have a conversation with them, even if I could understand what they're thinking.
Look around to see if there's another way, like, to go in a tunnel that we're in. Is that another tunnel across from where 17?
Yes,
Can we
there's
see the
two
bottom
over
of the
there.
pit also?
There was two people talking, and I couldn't hear either one. I'm sorry.
I said, yes, there's another path over there.
And what did you say, Bray?
Can we see what's at the bottom of this pit now?
Looking down, darkness.
I'm going to pick a pebble up, cast light on it, and throw it over. See how far it falls.
Eventually, you don't see the light anymore.
Huh.
Don't fall.
Don't hear sound, nothing.
Very interested to know what's down there.
And that's how we had a crossover Avernus campaign?
Well, where's your character from again?
The Shadowfell,
Oh, wait, never mind. That's
not the
what I
Underdark.
thought. Darkness is down there.
Is there anything on this side of the
Um,
looking
yeah,
around?
going in here. Sparkling geodes greet you as you enter the cavern. The gems are partially exposed in places, sticking out from the walls with walls like glassy shards. The floors rise near the eastern wall, leaving a natural ridge with stone ramps leading upward on either side.
Is any of this stuff valuable?
Does your character know much about the value of gems?
Nope.
Could be.
It's
Be worth
shiny, right? It's pretty.
could be worth a copper, could be worth 1,000 gold.
I want to find an exceptionally pretty one.
Okay. Go ahead and you can find some miner's axe on the ground if you don't have one, and it'll take you some time to work at it.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll just.
Does anybody else want to pass an hour by doing anything? If you'd like, you could just take a short rest if you don't want to.
I want to get as many as I can in an hour. Then. Working out my frustrations from not being able to kill the dragonborn or the dragon creatures.
I'm just gonna hold them. I'm just gonna stand in front of them so they don't run off and they don't try to attack us.
You're giving them mixed messages.
I'm just gonna stand over
Get out.
17.
Stay there.
All right. Braylon, did you want to do anything since your mind reading didn't work?
No, I'm just gonna chill right here.
Okay. Sec here.
So the question about the coin is. Oh, go ahead.
I need everybody but 17 to deafen themselves.
Oh, okay. This will be an interesting conversation. Won't be privy to it or anything like that. Might be some cool stuff, but please check out the next episode of Gear Gaming 365's Descent into Avernus or Friends of Thunder. Subscribe and like to check out more awesome videos. We got some stuff coming up. I do believe that we are going to be selling some of our cool merch that's been being made at an Everett Mall, Washington event. Check out our Facebook page at Gear Gaming 365 Facebook to find the deets for that. You can also check out geargaming365.com to check out all the cool new updates, new videos posted, daily content all around to check out our cool stuff. I'd like to thank our viewers and our sponsors for everything that you do for us. You guys are fantastic. Shout out to all the fans of Gear Gaming 365. Love you guys very much. My kids, Logan and Risa and Xander and Carter, Cameron and Phoenix. All one of my biggest fan groups right there. There's my kids, our kids, and Peyton's kids. They are fantastic as well. Rory is a little heckin'. He's a great kid. Oh, what do we just? Somebody rolled percentages. Don't know what that was about. Just trying to talk to pass the time, because I don't know that silence is very entertaining. So, who knows, right? Maybe silence is super entertaining. You guys could be listening to your own music. Drop a comment in the YouTube to see what you think should happen, whether or not the Chishiro and the others should kill the kobolds hiding in this mine or let them go. You know, take a vote, find out what actually happened by continuing to watch the episode. Will they kill them? Will they leave? What happens to 17 in this new crystal? What exactly is at the bottom of this shaft in the Underdark? That'll be cool. Maybe another campaign sometime we can be in the Underdark and see a coin fall from the ceiling somewhere. That would be funny. I think I might try to do that up in Lego stop animation. That'd be fun. Who knows? Anything's possible, right? Hope you're enjoying our episode. Tune in for more.
Gone on back.
Come on back.
I'm
All right.
back.
So we are going to look frantically around and just check our surroundings. And then kind of walk past a few people. When I get here, I'm going to do the same. We're going to do the same thing. Like look all around down the tunnel behind us. And then I want to look at Trex. And we're going to say, you must leave these caves.
He'll look around
Telepathically.
and like hearing a voice in his head. But he'll reply back. We don't have anywhere to go.
So I'm going to turn to 17 and I'm going to ask her, would you be willing to see if the kobolds would want to go and use you as a translator to speak with the people above to see if we can come to an agreement where they can stay in the tunnel and help work for them?
Sorry, she missed some.
I'm sorry. Can you ask me again?
No problem. I'm just going to ask 17 if you are willing, would you mind being a translator and seeing if they would be willing to go with us to the surface and speak to the town, and you be the mediator between them and the townsfolk and try to come to an agreement to allow them to stay inside the tunnel and help them as workers. Then technically they get their mind back. They can also stay, and it's beneficial for both sides.
Uh,
Can Tishiro finish up and come back now?
Yes. Sorry. Is it that the end of the long? I got wrapped up in hers. You are at the end of an hour. You're only able to get one of them out, but you do gain a what is it called? A geode worth 10 gold pieces.
Cool.
Speaking of
Um,
geode, You might want to hand Wolfric his share of the pie from last time.
We will turn back to the kobold and tell it rather. The townsfolk are afraid of you. They feel that you've taken the mine from them, and they want to come back.
We didn't mean to. We just wanted to be warm. We don't mean them harm. If we would work for them.
Would some of you come to the town with us to work that out?
Roll a persuasion.
Hard to be persuasive telepathically.
He looks like he's about to say yes, but then responds, "We're afraid they might hurt us if they see us. Would you not go and communicate that for us?"
We feel it would mean more if you were with us. They might believe it a little bit easier.
Which half of the conversation can we understand that aren't
None.
participating?
It's all
None
of
all
it.
taking place in the head,
Okay.
all telepathically. So
Okay.
you just see them staring at each other.
Okay. I'll come over to
Um,
17 and put my hand on your shoulder and be all like, "Are you okay?"
We are fine. I'm just gonna keep staring.
What's going on?
They want to stay. They need somewhere warm and safe, and are willing to work for the townsfolk here in the mines. We have asked them to come back with us to convey that, as it would probably be more believable if they came with us. But they are afraid the townsfolk will hurt them. They mean the townsfolk no harm.
There is a potential in the humanoid race that I have encountered to take advantage of those that are weaker. They may become
Yes.
slaves to the town folk.
We do not want that. We are being hunted.
Please impress upon them that this is a potential possibility.
We will say the townsfolk may take advantage of you and force you into servitude.
I mean, that's better than dying, isn't it?
Not by much.
It's a risk we would take.
What did they say?
We will come back with you.
Oh. They said that servitude is better than death, and it's a risk they would take to be warm and safe. And they agreed to come back with us.
In common to the rest of the group, should the villagers decide to kill them once we get to town, are we to defend them?
I would say so.
I would.
Same.
They are menial creatures.
But we are striking a bargain, so the honorable thing to do would be to protect them.
That is correct.
I agree. This goes against our previous bargain to reclaim the mines for the town.
Well, I mean, it is still technically reclaiming it for them. They will get their mine back.
Yes. Are you going to ensure that generations of kobolds do not become slaves to this town?
I mean, I can't say for future generations. I don't know how long kobolds live.
I don't either.
But as long as I'm alive, I'll come back periodically and I'll check on them myself.
That's their choice. They're choosing servitude. They're willingly choosing servitude over death.
We defend them if the villagers attack, but once they make an agreement, we are done protecting them.
Yeah, I mean,
As long as the villagers don't hurt them.
Can you ask them if there is more to this mine?
How far down does this mine go?
Well, this is the last level of the mine, but there is the chasm to the Underdark. But the mine itself ends here.
I have no idea what that means. So I will turn to Shiro. So this is the last level of the mine, but that goes to a place called the Underdark? We don't know what that means.
It's not a pleasant place. I say we take them back to town and they can talk to the villagers. This level here seems to be fairly small. Perhaps they can work with the villagers to help expand a little bit. Villagers make more money that way. More gems.
yeah, I think it's a good deal.
I'll start leading
They-
back up the...
I agree.
So we will tell them we are going to head back to the town now. We will protect you while you travel with us.
All right.
Can you ask the kobolds if they know if there are any other creatures besides the giant rats that live in these caves?
Are you the only creatures here, or have you seen others?
Well, there's some rats on the first level. We've hunted them for food. I've had a couple of us go missing when we enter the room to the north of the bucket.
Just
Uh,
vanish?
Yes, they seem to not come back. Anytime we've sent people to scout that area.
That could be a danger to the town.
Yeah, we
Yes.
should probably clear that.
We need to check that out.
Alright, so we'll go back up to the bucket room then, and have 17 ask what's up the north passage?
Ah,
What am I missing here?
It's all black. I only see
That's
Wolfgar.
because
No, I see nothing. Oh, there it is.
I moved you guys along
Gotcha.
to
The bucket room. Yeah, the north passage there. That's what Tashiro's talking about. I think there
Mhm.
and there.
well, they said the room to the north, so wouldn't that be?
No, it's at the top of the bucket. I thought, right?
yeah the room to the north. It's like the hall to the north here. So
Oh,
the bucket room here.
oh, okay,
So the north.
This room here.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Typical stealth and see if I can get a look.
Okay.
Guidance.
Roll a stealth.
Can you do double guidance?
No.
Oh.
Dirty 20. Bad 20. Bad 20. It's okay.
You stuff, I'll be right back.
1 second.
On the way back, does 17 look the same? Same mannerisms? Is she walking the same?
Roll perception. I don't know. That's not really my call.
Alright, sorry, I'm back.
I would say she looks the same.
Except that we're glancing nervously around more than we used to.
What's your I can answer my own question.
Okay.
My hand is also closed for what it matters.
So you sneak up into the room. You don't see anything.
Okay. Just sit there for just a minute and kind of scan the room with my eyes, looking for anything potentially.
You
Just get a good look.
give me a sec here. As you're looking around, a
Oh.
tentacle comes at you.
With a 20 to stealth? Wow, ouch.
It rolled it rolled a 19 on its roll
Dang,
plus its modifiers.
that sucks. That's gonna hurt.
And 4 points of damage. Hold on 1 second. And I get that too. How many tabs I can darn it. You succeed.
Oh dear.
But as the tentacle strikes you, it also wraps around you,
Mm-hmm.
grappling and restraining you.
Okay. From above, right?
From above.
Okay.
And we will roll for initiative.
Oh. Was on the 20. And then it rolled.
I'm going dead last. That's good.
So many twos.
Wow. So bad.
Oh my gosh.
Holy smokes.
We got the same number, honey. High
I know.
Alright. Wolfric and Sentinel, you're up first, but unfortunately he snuck up the cavern and has been grabbed. So I'm gonna say that he you're not gonna know. You can roll a perception check. I'll give you Wolfric and Sentinel both roll perception checks.
Do they have light? Oh, we do have light. I have the crystal.
Yeah, neither of you heard anything up the hall. Which means this creature. Come on. Is going to attack again at advantage. Against Tushiro.
Nice. Nice.
And then it's gonna come down with its beak.
Nice. Yeah. Kapow! Whew.
17. Go ahead and roll a perception check as well. Fortunately, you don't hear anything.
It's only 15 feet away.
Okay,
At
but
the hall, it's not making any noise. Like it reached out with a tentacle and wrapped
Still
it
Is
around him.
Toshiro making any noise?
It hasn't been Tushiro's turn yet.
Oh.
you have movement though.
You do, but would you know to go up there? In a matter of
not
him being
about-
gone?
It's not about whether we would know to go up there. He walked up there. We were following.
He said he was gonna go up stealth up ahead.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
I
easy.
can for sure say that I would follow him. Well, it's not my turn yet, but I would follow him. I always follow him, even if he doesn't want me to.
I'm fine, guys. Don't worry.
I'm,
I'm good.
we're also expecting to go into a fight, so I don't think it depends on order we'd go in for something like that.
I don't. He said he was stealthing ahead. I assumed he's doing his normal stealth, check out a room, come back and tell you guys.
We will wait one round, but then we are going up.
Luckily, it's Tushiro's turn.
Okay.
I
So,
imagine he's gonna scream out.
how high up am I?
It hasn't lifted you up off the ground. It kind of
Okay.
down to you.
It's like a floating creature with tentacles. I believe that's what a grell is, right?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to use my blessing of the Raven Queen and appear 30 feet within a spot I can see. I want to show up above it, katana down. I will teleport out of its restrained tentacles and appear above it. And for this duration, I look witherly and ghost-like.
Oh.
Gain resistance to all damage until the beginning of my next turn. This is my bonus action. I just out of its tentacles and right above it.
Okay.
Is that an advantage, like falling attack right on it?
Sure. I will say it's pretty surprised that you just vanished out of its tentacle.
Exactly. It's not used to that.
Nice.
Just like dropping straight down to the ground, superhero style. Toshiro will kind of let out this, like, man, I wish I knew a Japanese phrase right this moment in time. Just slink, land on the ground and attack.
So a friend of mine was in Okinawa, and he said he never got a translation of what this meant, but he watched a Japanese man hit himself with the hammer on his thumb, and the words that came out of his mouth was "Fuksamiya!"
Katsuga!
All right. Raylan, you heard Shiro scream out.
In that case, I'm gonna force my way over here.
Oh,
So
I'd like to
take-
land. I would like to land like right there.
It had moved up to you after.
Okay, that's fine. I want to land kind of like behind it, facing the hallway where the rest of the group was.
As you come around the corner, you see this brain with a beak and tentacles.
All right, then I'm gonna run. Here, come up here, and then whenever I have enough space, I'm gonna transform into a polar bear.
Nice. I can barely stand it. Do bears eat grells?
They
This
do
one,
now.
What's grell taste like?
I'm gonna find out.
Bacon or chicken. Everything tastes like chicken.
There's a polar bear in the tracker for you there, Braylon.
Polar bear. Nice.
If I can get this stat block. Okay, there we go. Now let's go for. Oh, I have multi-attack.
Well, isn't your action to transform?
Bonus action.
Bonus
he's a,
action. Oh yeah,
bonus.
you're a druid. That's right.
Mhm.
Nice.
All right, so I'm gonna attack with my. I think I'll use the claw attack this turn since I don't have a bonus action.
Bear swipe at it. Chunks of brain.
You make one with the bite and one with the claw. As part of the attack action, you make both.
Oh, I make both? Okay, I wasn't sure if multi-attack took like my bonus action or something.
Nope, it's all part of your attack action.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, 12. Dang.
That was your action and bonus action. Wolfric.
All right, here I come. I'm going to hit the rage button. I'm going to run in. Let's see. Let me hit the rage.
Is there any light in here?
I'm going to rage.
There is
Yes,
You gotta drag it onto you.
And then I'm
we
going
are
to.
providing light through the crystal.
How far is
not.
your
Oh yeah,
light?
you never stored it.
How far is your light?
15 feet bright,
30.
15 feet dim.
Okay. Cool.
I
There's
can
a
see it.
purple light.
So I'm going to draw the sword and yell, axe.
It
Turns
stays in
in-
whatever form you left it in.
Oh,
So
okay. So it's an axe. All right. So and I'm going to attack.
you swing. Trying to chop off some of the tentacles, but you swing right through them.
Hold on.
Sentinel.
Well, I'm not getting through here.
You can. There's a spot that's like right here. You can squeeze if you. I'm not.
Yes, that's 5, 10, 15, 20.
I'm gonna say though, if like you wanted to squeeze, it's a really tight space, so you might have like advantage on attacks against you because you don't have the room to maneuver.
That's fine. I am going to emboldening bond the usual 2, and then I will healing word at level 2 on Toshiro.
Much better.
Font of wellness flows through you, Tushiro.
Nice.
Then it's the Grell. Who has 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll start with Will being 1 and go clockwise. 1. Sorry, Will.
No, it's okay. It likes the Toshiro snack.
Yep.
It got a
Look.
taste of Toshiro, and it's like, I want that, whatever that is.
Give me.
Ouch.
And you gotta make another Constitution saving throw.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you are
You can.
poisoned.
Oh,
I can what? Oh, I can roll a d4, but I don't think that's going to help. That's a 7
yeah. You need 4.
plus 2, 9.
So you are poisoned, and you're going to have an advantage attack against you with the bite.
Sweet. Say goodbye to Shiro. Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, we... 17.
Yikes. We are gonna step right here and see what everyone's freaking out about. So it looks like a giant brain.
With like a beak and tentacles, and it floats.
Not a big fan of this. Is it bigger than us?
Its overall size is medium. I'd say it's slightly bigger, but it's not like huge or large.
Okay. We are going to cast a spell. We want the Grell to make an intelligence saving throw.
$17 pass.
17 against 17?
Yeah. Probably. I don't know where to find it, but I'm sure it probably does.
Hey, I had resistance to all that damage, Peyton. Due to my glowingness. So I only took half damage on that.
Let me go back and see how much you took.
Oh.
Good. So you took 8, so 4, 7, so 4. So you only took 8. So minus. I got minus 7 off of.
So it's going to take half of that damage still.
So 3.
So 3. It's psychic damage. And then we are going to step back and glance around really nervously.
Kishiro, is once again your turn.
Okay. I want to
repeat your saving throw. Hold on.
At the start of my turn?
Point target. Saving throw at the end of your turn.
At the end of my turn. Okay.
You're paralyzed. You're poisoned
and restrained.
Paralyzed and restrained.
Oh, I'm paralyzed.
Grappled.
Am I
Grappled.
paralyzed?
The poison target is paralyzed, and it can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn.
So I can't even move.
Oh.
Oh, the target is also grappled and restrained.
Yeah, I can't even move. So, I have my bonus action, right? I can try to second wind.
Can you second wind? Well, I'm gonna call it. I don't. You're not. Go for it. Second wind.
I don't know if this is going to work. I didn't see anything. It just said second wind.
It's the second one. Roll a 10 plus your
fire. You'll have to hit the action button on the side of it. The effect button.
Now it's gone from my character sheet, though.
Click on mode, go to preparation, and unclick that check mark.
Okay.
And then you can click the little plus sign. That should be under actions. And then just drop it on yourself.
Click the little plus sign. I don't see a plus sign. I'm sorry. I clicked on a plus sign and it gave me another thing.
Do you have on display? Does it say actions or groups or summary?
It says standard display group.
All right, click on that until it goes to actions.
Oh, okay. And then click on the little. Okay.
There you go.
Gotcha. All right.
Nice.
Feeling much better, Chishiro.
It's a little bump.
That's my bonus action. And do I can't do anything else because I'm
Can't do
paralyzed.
anything.
I can't
We'll see if
dodge.
you
So at the end of my turn,
successful. You're on.
shall I shake it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Braylon.
All right, I'm gonna take a nice bite out of this thing.
That hits.
And then I'm going for the claws next.
Woo.
Wolfric.
All right. I am going to, let's see, where is my. So I'm going to use the reckless attack. Let me advantage. And
You hit.
I hit. Remember, that's +1 because of the sword.
Mm-hmm. And that was enough. You bring your axe down on it, and you just cut this thing in two, and
Brains go splattering everywhere.
two halves just from floating to plunk on the ground.
Nice.
And that is where we're going to take our break.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right.
I just don't need to worry about Toshiro so much. I got tricks. I got tricks up my sleeve, I think.
So Will,
Yeah.
do you know that Walmart now has D&D minis?
Yeah, that's cool.
I got this guy.
Red Dragon, nice.
Yes.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Like you know it's mainstream when they start selling it at Walmart now.
You're right. So Peyton,
So, William,
incapacitated. An incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions. A bonus action is a special type of action, so I would just do it when I landed. Paralyzed causes incapacitated. Incapacitated causes the ability to not have actions. A bonus action is a special type of action.
so you can, and it doesn't require you to move, so.
Well, no, I couldn't do it while paralyzed. That's my point.
Oh.
Could not, but I would do it when I landed.
Well,
I didn't know the answer to that question.
I didn't either. That's why I was going to roll with it and look it up later.
No worries. I just was curious. Had a few seconds, and I'm all like,
Yeah, I always figured when it said can't take actions, that means nothing.
yeah. Well, it's like trying to find out like exactly what rule it falls under too. Oh.
Yeah, anything that deprives you of your ability to take actions also prevents you from taking a bonus action.
Yep. Page 189, I think, in the book.
Yep.
Whew, much better. We're just missing Rachel Ray.
Yeah, kids are asking her questions.
All right, I'm back. I was thinking, instead of having you always mute your microphone, you could always just take off your headset. That way, your recording can still pick it up.
I just thought of that today.
Let's go. La 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 la. Oh.
If you were married or not.
While we wait for her, there she is, Miss Sunshine and Rainbows.
Bills together. But those are all decisions you have to make for yourself. It depends on what you want to do when you grow up, too. What did you want to be when you grew up? When you was a kid?
A dungeon master. No.
What?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
And not this kind. No,
Oh,
La 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 la.
she didn't hear.
It's fine. You're 11. You don't have to know. I just wondered if you had an idea.
I wanted to be an architect.
I don't know what I want to be now.
What, Kim?
I
Right,
want to
like-
be a good person.
Well, the ship has sailed on that for me, so.
At first, I thought you were gonna say for Will.
Yeah,
You were
me
like,
too.
Oh, hard.
Damn.
And he's like, for me, I was like, oh, woo. I was like,
I don't know you well enough.
The ship has sailed for you, motherfucker. You're not on the yellow submarine.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a zoologist.
I think I wanted to be an architect, and
I
every
wanted-
time I tried to do like Sims houses, I would think that my stuff was the best, but it was always just like boxes, and it was horrible.
all right.
Let me
We
know.
got everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Our adventures of killing a Grell. Grell. And what does the party want to do? You guys just successfully killed this ugly creature.
Can I look around and see if I can find the kobold's bodies?
You look around. You don't see any bodies.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Shiro's
But
gonna
you
kind of
do-
like pack his wounds up a little bit.
You do
Yeah, I
see
can't move out. I was trying to
there's
move over
another
there.
opening out to the chasm.
Oh, and just so everybody at home is aware, you cannot take a bonus action while paralyzed. Tashiro would have landed and then healed himself.
Are you still in your bear form, Braylon?
Yes.
Looking around, you don't see any kobold bodies. I almost said goblin bodies. Kobold bodies.
Is this another room of geodes?
Looking around, you can see along the insides of the walls, there's different gems embedded in the walls.
Any that look green?
Any that
Red?
look green or red. Sure, there's lots of green and red and blue and yellow and
Okay.
all sorts of different colors.
We have light, right?
Mhm.
Yes, the room,
From the gem.
the room is lit up in purple light.
Oh. So everything looks purple, no matter what. Well, at least there's stuff in this mine for them to do. Kind of kick through the remains of the Grell and see if there was anything that it didn't digest left from the kobolds.
You don't see any like kobold bodies inside the Grell.
Yeah, we did cut it in half.
I'm gonna search the rest of the room.
Searching the rest of the room, you just find some gems all along the wall. But aside from that, the cave that or the tunnel you came through, and a short tunnel that leads out to the chasm. Doesn't seem to be anything particular in the room.
Can I walk?
Where are the kobolds that were coming that we were leading to the town?
They stayed back behind. They didn't want to go in the room.
All right.
They're like in the bucket area.
Can I look out through here and see what's down here?
You see the same chasm that you've walked across plenty of times, and darkness below.
What was it doing? Throwing the stuff down there?
Probably eating it.
Go back to the bucket and go ahead and start. But I'll ask 17 my question. Can she ask the kobolds to tell us what is up the other north passage?
Which other north passage?
Around the room? Like, over here? Was this all
That's where
dead
you
ends?
came from.
Oh, that's where we came from?
That goes down.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yeah.
I thought that was, sorry, somewhere else on the map. But I'll go up the bucket then.
All right.
If we walk around this room, looking at the walls, are there any that look like they'd come out easily?
They all look like they'd take a bit of finding. And they don't look like it'd be hard, just time consuming.
Okay. That's fine.
You can figure out maybe in about an hour you could get one out.
That's all right. They could be watching us. We need to leave.
All right, I'm gonna turn back into Braylon and out of the bear form. That way, I can be able to get back up the bucket.
It's a bear in a bucket.
Are you guys just making your way straight out?
Not necessarily.
We will ask the kobolds if there were any other dangers they encountered before we leave.
Just, I mean, there's some large rats, but I really want to consider them a danger.
Do you all enjoy eating those rats?
We eat them
Do you enjoy that?
better than no food. Oh no, you can't.
Technically, you wouldn't be able to speak
Yeah,
with
you
them
can't.
or understand
Okay,
what
that's
he's
right.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that maybe the kobolds could make an agreement to hunt the rats for the humans, if anything else.
We're only in this in a supervisory effect. We are translator.
Let's go back to town then. I mean, if there's nothing else in this cave.
Yeah, nothing dangerous. Too much anyway.
All right.
I mean, if the kobolds can take it out, then we're probably fine.
So you guys make your way. to Tourmaline.
We come in on the northwest of the map or northeast.
Northeast, where it says to the gem mine.
I guess first person we run into, ask them like where the center of town is because we haven't been here.
Wolf or Kaz, he can
Oh,
take
okay.
a.
No,
I've
Wolfric
not been
has
here,
not
but I
been
know
here.
where to go. I know who to ask for. We're looking for town hall. And we're looking for the town speaker, Oris Mastu.
We're getting a lot of weird looks walking through the town with 3 small dragons.
You are getting some weird looks. And
We think it is because of us and we look so funny.
Just be their conscience for them and just mind fuck them.
You can't let these poor creatures starve.
Perhaps.
I like it.
So we're just going to ask around and find out where town hall is,
yes, give me just a sec.
even though I see it on the map.
17.
It's right there.
Are you 17? Are you okay? You seem to be a little more on edge.
They could be watching us right now.
Who's they?
The ones that are after me. They're the ones that are after us. We must always be on the lookout for them.
I thought you would be on the lookout for them as well because you wanted to give that to them.
Yes.
Yes.
Shouldn't we let them find us so that we can give it to them and you can have your freedom?
Trying to think how I would respond to that. We hope. We hope they meant it.
You seem to think so earlier. Sentinel, has something changed in your opinion? You were tasked with retrieving a crystal and you've got that crystal. Do you still expect freedom?
I expect them to hold up their end, yes.
Yeah, I thought you said that your masters were anything but liars.
We have the crystal now. We are just really worried.
Well, you're so close to the... You've wanted freedom for so long. Now with it potentially within your grasp, it's more precious than it was before.
Unless if you're fearing what the word freedom is.
It might be what Tushiro said. We don't know.
As you make your way through town, you get like weird looks. You get like people like grabbing their kids and kind of like tucking them inside. Like pretty much everybody kind of deserts like the area as you start to enter.
Go straight up to like the town hall.
Okay.
We're going to be looking. We're going to be looking down all the side streets as we go.
Perhaps we should split the group a little bit and just have, like, I'll hang back with the kobolds and have 2 of you walk ahead without us, and you can maybe talk to somebody peacefully that way without them running in fear of the kobolds.
I would prefer we all stick together. I believe we are stronger that way.
Well, I'm not saying to, just take off. I'm just saying because everybody's running as soon as they see us. If 2 of us were to go together ahead of us That way they can speak with somebody to figure out where the town hall is, and then just come back and get us.
Surely guards would approach us as well, with the strange sight that we are.
That's true. Where's all the guards to the town?
They haven't shown up yet.
Police
how
response in
far-
this area is really, really long, okay?
Everybody's running inside in fear. Nobody's like running to go get.
Can we make
They're
it
all
to
like-
the town hall?
You gotta pick a way to go. Technically, you don't know where the town hall is. I know it's on the map, but you'd have to kind of either catch somebody as they trying to run inside and ask them, or
Probably best just to find it on our own.
Can I go up to a nearby door and knock on it?
sure.
Okay, I'll do that.
Shiro's gonna grab his katana.
You knock on the door. You don't hear a response, but you see at the corner of your eye, the curtain pulls back a little. See a little bit of eyes, and it goes away. No response.
I'm just gonna yell, I'm just looking for the town hall. Can you tell me where it is?
Roll a persuasion.
We come in peace.
I burned the house down if they don't.
Oh, talk about murder hobo.
Well, that's what we do. We burn things down, so.
We have been known to do that. I mean, that was not us.
No idea what
Did
you're
what
talking
now?
about.
Y'all did what now?
Are you rolling a persuasion, Brent?
Yeah, I was trying to find it. I found it.
No response.
Can I focus on where I saw the person and see if I can try to
Sure.
read their mind after asking them where the town hall is?
Okay, yeah.
So Shiro's gonna start looking down the street, and start moving away from the rest of the group.
You mean my initial plan?
You get the thoughts of images is where as they think about the town hall, as you ask that question, briefly flashes before your mind, and you can vaguely piece together how to get there.
All right, I'm gonna turn back to the group and I'm gonna say, "Okay, I know where to go."
Shunk, and back to the group.
Let's go.
You lead the group down this road here to the town hall.
Nice to be able to use my ability.
Hey, Serpent's thoughts. You
As
asked
you
the town hall and they thought about it.
I'm just gonna put one
Exactly
token
what
there.
I was doing.
I'm just gonna put one token there so that you can see as you get here to the town hall. From around some alleys, you see guards come out and kind of surround you.
I'm gonna
There
position
they
myself
are.
between some of the guards and the kobolds.
No,
Yeah,
did
I'm
we
there
all
as
go?
well.
Did we all go down there too with him?
Well, we're
Yeah,
spread
yeah.
out
I
in a
just didn't. I didn't want to put all the tokens there and club that
Okay.
area so you can see
All
the
right.
map.
spread out in a circle. That's what I say.
The guards.
No, there's no need for this. There's no need for this. I look at one of the guards. We must speak to town speaker Oris Mastu.
As you say that, the door in the town hall will open up, and a half orc will walk out. I am Oros. What can I do for you?
I am
Hello.
Wolfric Stormreaver from the clan Wormdune. You asked our clan to help you clear out the mine north of town. We've done that. We have accomplished that. What these creatures mean you no harm and are only trying to find safe shelter from the dragon.
From the weather.
Weather. I thought it was the dragon.
No,
They worship
what?
They
the dragon.
worship the dragon.
Oh yeah.
You're thinking Icefire Peak there. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's yes.
Roll the
They seek
persuasion.
shelter.
At advantage.
Guidance if he can get it.
Having referenced your clan and him having hired your clan. He'll
Plus
kind of
whatever the guidance is.
hesitantly. We did ask for you to clear the mine. It is clear, you say?
It is clear. These creatures wish to remain in the mine for safety reasons and have pledged themselves to your town to help work in the mine to ensure their safety.
In exchange for allowing them to live there.
Yes.
1 second. You turn. Talk to somebody. You can't hear what they say, but you see the person go inside, come back out, flip through some notes. Turn back to him. I believe we can arrange that. Seeing how my logs state that none of our miners were harmed um, when they entered the mine. I believe we can arrange for them to have some housing if they agree to be productive workers.
I
Does
think
anyone
all,
does anyone in the town speak dragon?
They'll see him turn back to like his aide. Uh, yes, I do believe we have a Dragonborn resident or two. I assume that they would be able to speak Draconic.
Draconic. Excellent.
Uh,
I think that's all the only language they know.
He'll turn back to his aide, converse, and the aide will like go scurry off down an alleyway. I have sent my aide to go find them.
we were also hoping for your assurance that they will not be mistreated.
As long as
We-
they are non-hostile to the people of this town, then I pledge that no harm will come to them. At least from the people of my town. I can't guarantee things outside of my control.
Well, that's understandable, but
they are a different type of people to your town now.
It'll take getting used to, but
Well, if you
perhaps
can live amongst Dragonborn, you can live amongst them all the same.
Dragonborn are a little different, but I see where you're coming from.
they could be taught the language and then they would be less fearsome if they could communicate with each other.
Down the alley, the aide will come back and you'll see a male Dragonborn come out following them. You requested me. Yes. I believe we use your service. If you could translate for them and go get them set up with rooms at the inn until we find a more permanent place for them to stay. The Dragonborn will nod and he'll give like a couple gold pieces to the Dragonborn, and he'll go over and start speaking in Draconic to the kobolds.
Are they
Hey
willing to?
Peyton, side note, did the clan chief pay me in advance?
He did not. We'll get.
Okay.
They'll.
Are the kobolds okay with leaving our care now?
You see them starting to follow the Dragonborn.
I'll put the sword away and adopt a more relaxed posture.
I believe payment is in order. I did get word from your clan. They sent a raven that your group should receive 100 gold for your portion of the deal.
You said
Wow.
Raven?
Yes, we often use birds to more quickly send messages between towns.
Is it still here?
No, it came earlier in the day.
Tashiro will visibly relax. You hear like a deep.
You afraid of birds or something?
Are you saying that in character?
Yeah.
Not here.
You will know that it's pretty late.
Let us find a room, and I will tell you a story if you'd like.
Uh, the overhearing it. The east side um is, if I remember correctly. Yes. The east side is our inn for town. You're more than welcome to get rooms there.
Having safely delivered the kobolds here and they are with someone that can speak their language, we would like to put the crystal away. We want to drop our attunement to it. We're not sure how that works, though.
You gotta spend another short rest.
Correct.
Or be away from it for more than 24 hours, or an hour, or something like that, I think. So we're heading towards the inn then, with 100 gold pieces in Wolfric's hands. I will look at Wolfric and hold up a gold piece. This is the rest of the party treasure from when you were gone, and just give it to you. And then look at the 100 gold pieces in your hand, and go.
I'll hand them all to you. I'll just hand it out, put my hand out, and go. Take what you need. Divvy them up. Just give me what's left of mine.
Tonight, the drinks will flow for you, Wolfric.
That I can get behind.
Braylon, my queen, often uses ravens as messengers to communicate with ones of my kind on this particular plane. She can see through the eyes of any raven anywhere.
I see.
So I'd like to avoid, if necessary, the chance that my queen might find out where I currently am.
I'll make sure to never turn into a raven then.
I would appreciate that. I might try to shoot you down.
You are being hunted too.
I honestly don't know. I haven't had any contact with any of my kind for a while. My queen sent me on a mission to get something from her, and I have yet to return. I have the item, but I'm not sure if I want to give it up yet.
We do not know who our kind are.
I'm not quite sure if my kin are currently hunting me down. I'm not quite sure if my queen is upset with me and hunting me down. I know that I currently do not have her favor. That much is as plain as my face. I'll just gesture at the mask. But, yeah. I don't know.
You guys are able to get rooms. It'll be 1 silver a room.
We're just doing one room again? Since you don't like beds and stuff?
Probably. It's
Probably.
it's one of us just sits there. One of us only sits there for 4 hours. We need one bed for you, who's the only one that uses a bed. Wolfric sleeps outside in the barn, and 17 sleeps on the floor. And I sit
Yep.
cross-legged for 4 hours. So,
Just put me in a corner. I'm good.
yep.
And
much.
17, you would like to, upon your long rest, unattune to the item?
Yes.
Okay. The things we discussed go away.
Wait. Do we notice?
Absolutely. They're gone. Those feelings, the sound, all of it gone.
Okay. So we understand what's going to happen if we have to use it again. Okay. Did you divvy that up?
Yeah. If Wolf,
If someone just wants to be a bank, then someone can take it.
I don't really want that responsibility, but okay.
I think it's easier if we just split it up so we don't have to try to.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was 20
gold
apiece.
20
Yeah.
gold each.
Split's nice and easy.
Well, technically
guys-
it's 20. Technically, it's 21 for Wolfric because he handed you
Yes.
the one back too.
Yes, I did. I did make note of that.
And I took that one off my character sheet, so.
You guys gain the benefits of a long rest.
Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, I can do it.
Oh,
Yeah, the DM has to do it.
whoa, that's cool.
Long rest.
Nice.
Shiny. Spell slots and everything. Spell slots.
We are gonna end here for the night a little early. My back is starting to kill me.
Perfect place.
So it's a
Yeah,
place to end anyways. I will ask for the party kind of decide. You know where you guys plan on going, so I know.
Do
what to
we-
kind of prepare.
Do we have any leads?
Okay, well you got like 10 minutes.
Nope.
Okay,
Go on.
we are gonna want to deliver this.
Yeah, like that's about our only open task
Yeah,
right now.
I think we'd want to try to deliver the
Stone.
yeah.
The
Deliver
problem
crystal.
is the place where they were at is the one town we're banned from.
The place where what?
We're banned from East Haven.
Uh-huh.
That's not where it's at.
No, that's where they met us at.
I guess
Where
we'll
who, man?
be trying to figure out where to deliver the crystal.
Yeah, we want to try to track down my masters and get rid of this thing.
That'll work.
Alright, so I said you were gonna follow the cauldron or go to her master.
Her master.
My masters.
We don't. Do we have a
Okay.
lead on the cauldron?
No.
You know it continued further west past not East Haven. I gotta pull up the map again.
Brian Shander.
Bryn Shander.
A whole 4 days ago or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a while. I think we lost that, to tell you the truth,
It
but
could be
Yeah.
anywhere. It cold be
I
anywhere.
think the trail's gone cold. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Unfortunately.
You want to try to find a cauldron? But I think our is turn in the crystal for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Crystal is our best bet. I mean, but we don't have really
Yeah.
a clue on where to go for anything. So
No.
So there's two options for you: try to track down the cauldron, or there. That's our plans.
Let's do the crystal.
All right.
I think the cauldron is kind of behind us.
If we happen
must-
upon it when
Yep.
we're out and about, then we know what it looks like, and
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking too.
we will
Yeah.
take it back.
Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
You know,
I